All right, hello everyone. Welcome back to the daily update of the 1000 day challenge. This is day 485, so let's get things started. All right, doing a very quick run through itself as today is a Sunday. Market is closed for the traditional financial market. Even though the futures is, I think, scheduled to open in about a couple of hours or maybe 1 or 2 hours later. I'm just going to do a very quick run through in terms of the crypto market or Bitcoin in general in that sense. So you can see over here, we actually consolidated very nicely. We tried to attempt to push to a higher high, but we failed. So we actually closed with a lower low. So a lot of people may have put a sell stop order over here because the accumulator here, if you still have a sell stop order, will be triggered. But bear in mind that even it was triggered itself, like I mentioned, because it's somewhat indecisive on the daily chart, it still looks to be bullish. You can see that it's not very strongly bearish, and we are forming somewhat like a so-called a bullish divergence over here, although here is still bearish, bearish itself in coincidence. But if you see over here, we're actually not increasing so far in terms of momentum wise. So yeah, so bear in mind that we could still see further downside momentum towards this region will be the 0.618. There will be a very critical key point that Bitcoin has to hold. So if we do break and close below the 50.8K region itself with strong volume and conviction itself, there will definitely be a very bearish shift in terms of momentum itself. But bearing in mind that there could also be short-term day cap mouse because we've been trending quite downwards towards the downside for quite extended period of time since we've been coming over here just as well. So yeah, so what could happen perhaps is we could have a here, very nice bounce over to here towards the 55, 56K region itself, and then continue to trend to the downside. That will be perhaps a bearish scenario. Or of course, we could go up to here, form a weak rejection, and then continue towards the upside. That will be a much more bullish scenario, especially if you look in terms of a daily chart perspective. That's what we are forming over here. We went up, went down, tested the support, which was over here on the daily chart, and then we went up all the way, and then we formed somewhat like a double top of false breakout, and then we went all the way down. So we retest this daily resistance itself. We check over here, it was previously supported and resistant itself. So this zone itself is actually a very critical zone to be hold. So if we do hold, there'll be potentially a really good sign. And yeah, so that's more or less about it. I don't see any potential trades at a 4 hour because I'm leaning towards bearish on the 4 hour chart. Yet on the daily chart itself, I'm leaning towards the bullish momentum. So because of that, I see that as a counter trend trade. If you want to go for it, you'll be highly risky because your stop loss may be a little bit wide. And also you may have to take profit earlier than expected over here, which gives rise to very poor risk to your setup. So even if you were to make profit this time around, you may not necessarily make profit over extended period of time if you keep making such trades because your losses may not be able to cover your profit in that sense. I'm not saying there's a bad trade. Some people specializes in it. So yeah, it is what it is. So for me, I don't specialize in this, at least as of right now. So yeah, I'm staying out of this market in terms of 4 hour chart. If you want to trade, perhaps you could try the shorter time frame. Or if you're in the longer time frame, then you're waiting for a bounce over here before entering a long. Otherwise, that's more or less about it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to provide your comments below. Or I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye.